Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, June 18th, 2020. Potential headlines include increased winds over the southern Great Basin tomorrow and eastern areas on Saturday. But the big story is increasing lightning activity beginning today, but mainly occurring tomorrow and into Saturday, particularly over western and northern Nevada and up into southwest Idaho. We definitely are expecting an increase in new IA and new large fires with this round of thunderstorm activity. And then for fuels, we've already seen this fire activity increase significantly across the southern Great Basin with the last round of lightning. Fuels continue to be critically dry down there in the brush, and fire potential impacts for the next couple of days show some breezy conditions over the higher elevations of southern Utah into far southern Nevada, with some isolated thunderstorms starting to develop today. Especially with some drier storms along the Sierra front. Tomorrow we'll see winds pick up quite a bit across the southern Great Basin, and then those increasing thunderstorms we see moving into western and northern Nevada and up into far southwest Idaho. On Saturday, the storms will continue to move north and east over Idaho and into western Wyoming, maybe clipping parts of northeast Nevada and northern Utah. Some of these storms will definitely transition to wet over the higher elevations of Idaho and western Wyoming by Saturday. Yesterday was a quiet day, no precip or lightning. Fire activity has been on the increase since last weekend. We continue to see some fires pop up out of that lightning outbreak down south. Couple larger fires in the southern Ely district yesterday, burning in the brush and into the PJ. And then a pretty large grass fire in the Snake River Plain. Nationally, Nick did move to PL3 this morning. ERCs continue to be on the upward trend for the most part, especially over Utah. We do see some of our areas moving into the 90th and even the 97th percentile here in these red shaded areas. If we look at southern Ely, where we saw some of those larger fires popping up yesterday, we can see those values are much above normal for the time of year and forecast to continue to rise quite rapidly for the next week. If we look at the average line, we're getting close to where we normally see those maximums occurring for the time of year. So definitely moving in to peak fire season territory in that area. Okay, looking at the upper air forecast and significant fire potential outlook for the next couple of days, we've got a lot going on here. For today, still another hot and dry day for the most part across the geographic area. We do have some high risk for burn environment issued once again for the southern Great Basin for those very dry, hot conditions with an unstable atmosphere as well, leading to some of those larger fire runs that we've seen. And then we do have some high risk right along the Sierra front as we start to see some moisture coming into the area. On Friday, a low pressure system will begin to break down that upper ridge and bring some increasing moisture and instability to kick off some thunderstorms. We do have high risk issued for northern and western Nevada and up into southwest Idaho for tomorrow, as well as some high risk for wind for those increasing winds out ahead of that low. On Saturday, that low continues to move further north and east up into Idaho. We'll see these storms moistening up a bit across the north, but still some very dry fuels in place there. So we do have high risks for southeast Idaho and far northeast Nevada. We'll kind of watch this and see exactly where those thunderstorms might end up developing for Saturday, but still looking for some drier storms on that tail end of the moisture. A closer look at the winds here for today. Not many super strong winds, but some breezy conditions in Utah and into southern Nevada. Very low relative humidities, single digits across much of the Great Basin. On Friday, the winds pick up over southeast Nevada and into southwest Utah and the Arizona Strip, where we have those ongoing large fires, and then also some gusty outflow winds expected with the thunderstorms that develop in western and northern Nevada. Minimum relative humidities are still quite low across the area, but we will possibly see them starting to come up over far western Nevada. Some of these storms may produce localized heavier precipitation totals, but definitely some dry storms mixed in there as well. And then on Saturday, some winds up into eastern Idaho and parts of eastern Utah. Our RHs do come up on Saturday across Idaho and into western Wyoming, where the storms will be a little bit wetter there, but still dry over Nevada and Utah. For the precipitation totals, again for today, not looking for much, maybe just some isolated storms here and there over the southern parts of the Great Basin and up into the Sierra front. And then on Friday, we'll see a better chance for those more widespread showers and thunderstorms over northern and western Nevada, kind of a mix of wet and dry there, southwest Idaho as well. And then on Sunday, precipitation moves a little bit further northward into central Idaho mountains and western Wyoming, where maybe we'll see a little bit better chance of a wetting rain. Going into the weekend and the first part of next week on Sunday, that low lifts off to the north and east, and we really start to just build in a high pressure ridge. That's going to be the main story for the bulk of next work week. Generally lighter winds with rapidly increasing temperatures area wide Monday into Tuesday. No high risk issue during this time, just as things remain warm and dry. Definitely looking for holdovers to continue to pop up from the lightning activity expected this weekend. Again, the winds, not looking for anything too strong, maybe some gusty winds along the Snake River Plain Sunday into Monday and northeast Utah once again. And minimum relative humidities start to dry out again across the north, putting us right back into those single digits for most of the geographic area. Precipitation is going to be limited next week, maybe just some lingering storms in western Wyoming on Sunday before the high pressure ridge really starts to take hold and bring in that drier air. To sum things up for today, high risk once again for the south for that increased burn environment, a little bit of lightning moving into the Sierra front. Tomorrow, more widespread showers and thunderstorms over northern Nevada, western Nevada up to southwest Idaho, and winds in Utah. Sunday, lingering storms to the east and north, and then warm and dry moving back, or hot and dry, I should say, moving back into the basin by midweek next week. The extended forecast for June 23rd through the 27th puts the heat back into the western U.S. with a bullseye over Nevada and a below normal precipitation expected during that time frame as well as we kind of just sit underneath the ridge. That concludes today's briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.